US Congressman Zinke playing
There's one.
He's back.
Reload. No.
It's pretty cool that we have a Navy SEAL, a former commander. I know you were my friend Jeremy Mayhew's commander.
Yep.
And we've hunted together, Jeremy and I, quite a bit. And I just wondered if you could maybe share a story about your days as a SEAL.
I'll tell you a story. When I was a commander in Fallujah, I was a Special Forces commander, and General Mattis was the 1st Marine Division commander. And Fallujah was in Iraq, and it was kind of a tough period. So Mattis and Conway wanted to do a battlefield tour, and they wanted to look at what we were doing out there. And I was a light colonel, so I was a lieutenant commander, or lieutenant colonel, and he's a 2-star. And the Marines, the Marine is a very, they're very rank conscious. So anyway, they wanted to do a dog and pony. They wanted to go out and look at stations. So I had one of the stations. I had like Station 12. And so they roll up. You got a 2-star, you got a 4-star, and you got me. And I'm former SEAL Team 6 guy. And this is the apex of my career. And I'm feeling like this is the big moment of my life. And full body armor, the whole works. And they come up and they know my name. And all of a sudden I'm getting to be kind of a peacock. And I tell them what they're doing, and they're very impressed in the whole works. And I salute, and they go off, and I'm standing there in my full glory, kind of being a peacock, going, man, I'm really cool. This is the apex of my whole career. And all of a sudden, there's, hey! And I turn, and there's a Marine sergeant right at me, and he grabs me by my collar, by my body armor, and throws me down. I was a little off balance, but it was a good throw. And I hit my head, skin, and he ruined my entire moment. And so I roll over, I'm all upset, and he comes over and says, "Sir, they're shooting at you." And I turn up, there's a pony wall behind me, I can see the rounds go deep, 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 deep. So what do you do? He said, well, Sergeant, thank you. So every time I see a Marine, it's always Semper Fi, thanks.
I really had a great football player as a son, Abe Willows. He was the captain of the number 4 ranked high school football team in the whole USA down in Austin, Texas. Garrett Wilson was on his team.
And they play great football down in Austin.
Yeah, they play great football down
Texas
there.
in general has great football.
Yeah, in general, great football. So I know you played some football. Can you tell us a little about your football career?
Yeah, I played at Whitefish. I was a 1979 state champion. I went to Oregon because I wanted to play in the Pac-10 at the time. And if you Google the worst ball game in NCAA history, it will come up either 1, 2, or 3. That was the last game I played at Oregon. It was called the Civil War game with Oregon State. At the time, it pitted 2 very bad teams my senior year, and it was commonly referred to as the toilet bowl. The reason why it's one of the worst games ever in college football, it rained 3 inches of rain, 16 fumbles, and the game ended in a 0-0 tie. The game was so bad that the NCAA changed the rules so it would never happen again.
But what position did you play?
I was the last pulling center, I think, in NCAA history. And I can tell you why I was the last pulling center, because it didn't work. Can I tell you about a 0-0 tie?
So even at Whitefish, you were a center.
Whitefish, I was a strong safety and guard.
Oh, strong safety.
Yeah, I was a pretty fast kid, pretty big kid. I just didn't have any hands.
Yeah, you didn't have the hands. Well, we were pretty excited to hear the recent developments in Iran. To us, to me, it was quite a successful mission to be able to go in there and take out Iran's nuclear capabilities like that. That was something. Were you at all involved in the council, or did you know what was going on before it happened or anything?
but I can tell you, I've been overseas. I've been in Iran. They'll have to change their modus operandi because you can't have Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's the bottom line. The president's been clear. They continue to work on it. They continue to enrich uranium. And for me, I think it's going to take a regime change because I don't think that Ayatollah is going to change one bit. They'll just recock. So, but Iran having a nuclear weapon, this is what I say to people: is that can you imagine what Iran would be without having a nuclear weapon or having the regime they do? Iran is a very sophisticated culture. They're very bright people, but the whole Middle East would be a totally different picture if they were pumping things in there with the Houthis and the Hezbollah and Hamas and their terrorist activities. Iran would be a very prosperous, and the region would be prosperous, and the world would be better off. So, all right.
So I noticed on your Facebook it had a picture of you surfing, and this was pretty big to me because all my life I was trying to surf, and I finally figured it out and got up and was surfing last year in the Philippines and considered myself
This surfing on Whitefish Lake, right?
able to surf.
Yeah, I was in a wetsuit.
Oh, you were in wetsuit?
Yeah, that was about a month
Lake?
ago, a little cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was yes, surfing on the back of a boat. These new boats are magnificent. They can produce a 6-foot wave on the back of a boat. So I was surfing in Whitefish. Growing up, we didn't surf in Whitefish. We water ski.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you learned to surf, but that was in Whitefish Lake. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, thanks for coming. That's
All right. I do work for you, and so if there's something I can do, let me know. Steve is the district, so we're 2 bulldogs, and so if there's something that you need, let me know. And I can't help unless I know. So I appreciate it. Keep your faith.
Awesome.
And you can play guitar.
Thank you.